Good morning and welcome to Morning Brew on Politics Social. It's Thursday, the 6th of November, 2024, a date that will live in infamy, I guess, for as long as we last, with the bloody bastards, dickhead, scumbag, scum, billionaire, rapist, nutters who have just won. Well done, America, for voting in a convicted criminal, a vile rapist, to be the leader of the free world. Apparently, the free world, unless you happen to be born, I don't know, a woman, ethnic minority, gay, trans, disabled, anyone who's not, ubermensch, I guess. Here we are. Big shout out to everyone in the chat. What a disaster, says Lucas. This cannot happen again, says Vendetta. Well, it is. And, I feel like a little bit disappointed in myself because I had been saying for quite a long time on this channel, much to the chagrin of everyone else watching, like, there was a good chance of this happening. And I kept getting shouted down, going, no, don't be stupid. There's no way that Trump will win. And again, what will happen, like what happened last time, the left will get all introspective and say, we should have done this, we should have done that. And we'll usually learn nothing at all. That's something I said last night, and I'll say it again. I think Kamala ran a really good race. I think that she did really well with the 3 months she was given. But considering every billionaire in the world, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Jeff Bezos, Vladimir Putin, wanted Trump to win. That was the fact that I kept on going back to. It's like, yeah, they want him to win. This is why Trump bought Twitter. 44 billion. It's a bargain to buy American democracy. I was going to wear this hat, but I realised that I'm actually a little bit too hot with that on, so I'll just go back to my normal hat. I'm still on the couch from yesterday. If you wonder what this is, the couch. I didn't have time to set it up. It will be a Grumpy Graham stream, which is great as it justifies my own feelings. Well, yeah, just let rip in the chat. I've set it up so only the regulars can talk today because I can't be bothered with any Trump trolls. Good morning. Have we just seen the last American election? Says Shropshire Chris. Maybe. Well, the last one until Trump is no longer with us, should we say. A failed suicide attempt, possibly losing my house, and now Trump 2.0. I generally thought I was having a bad week before, said Anthony Fisher. Look, we've got to get through this together. I'm not going anywhere, I've had a couple of hours sleep, got up to do the show. I really didn't want to do this. Didn't want to be bloody all over again, taken straight back to 2016. With people going, how did this happen? We had all the celebrities on side. Trump was making all these mistakes. He was making a tit of himself. He was talking absolute bollocks. But most people don't give a shit about politics. They just don't really notice it very much. Not like we do. They don't watch politics channels. They don't keep abreast of the situations that are going on. And they're just like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. 31, 318. Oh shit, hang on. Where was that? Where did that go? There was a super chat. It's just disappeared. Okay. I didn't know you could do that. Oh yes, sorry. 318 IS. A super chat came in a little bit earlier, saying, as David Bowie once sang, I'm afraid of Americans. That's my crap David Bowie impression. We'll do that again. What are your thoughts? Oh, it's Wednesday. It's not Thursday, is it? Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday, the 6th of November. Jesus. I've been up all night. Give me a break. Maggie Pie, what are your thoughts on Trump pulling out of NATO? I think that's something that he will try to do. I don't know if he will manage it. I don't know if he'll be able to pull America out of NATO, but I know he certainly wants to because he's Vladimir Putin's puppet. And that's what Vladimir Putin wants. Do you think they'll agree to embrace the British Empire again? That's from hello there. No. But thanks for the super chat anyway. And Ivan said, "I'm beyond despairing. False hope is just as bad as no hope, if not worse." Well, yeah, it's. Thanks very much for the super chat, Ivan. But like the old gag, isn't it? It's not the hope. It's not the despair that gets you. It's the hope. And yeah, what will happen with NATO? Asks Leapshin. Well, what will happen with women's rights? What will happen with medication if he outlaws vaccinations, vaccination research? Any research that's got anything to do with using stem cells from a fetus, they're going to just ban it in America. They're going to, I mean, obviously, if you're a woman in America right now, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. All I can suggest is you get out while you can, if you can. If you can't, you're going to have to start building up fortifications against the federal government. I mean, let's try and talk about some sort of rays of sunshine coming through the broken corrugated iron ceiling. The drugs have been illegal for absolutely forever in America. And yeah, federal offence, and yet people still get drugs in America. So it's not like this stuff can't be done. It's just banning abortion doesn't stop abortions. It just stops safe abortions. But this is what the MAGA lot want. George says the Trump, the kind who will never, absolutely not be beaten. Well, yeah, like I said, he had all this. Thanks for the super chat. He had all the billionaires in the world, apart from Taylor Swift, rooting for him. Like they wanted him to win, so they can continue their march towards this end game monopoly capitalism. And it's not just NATO. It's not just women's rights in America, and by extension around the world. It's the environment. Like, the environment is the number one, well, it should be the number one priority right now, but we're going to get another 4 years at least of this bloody circus, of this absolute insanity in the United States of America, where you have a demagogue running a nation into the ground. I don't think he's going to be able to do a lot of the stuff that he says he wants to do. I don't think he's going to be able to bring in 60% tariffs on everything coming from China. I really don't think that's going to happen. Because someone at some point is going to realize what a tariff is, who pays it, and what it's going to do to prices in America, and what it's going to do to inflation in America. I also don't think he's going to build a wall with Mexico. He's not hardly talked about that in this election campaign. I don't think he's going to be able to round up millions of immigrants and send them back to where they came from, but he can send a lot of them. A lot of them. I don't know where he's going to put them. The Venezuelan, and the Venezuelan government says this plane cannot land in Venezuela. Who's gonna fly them? Where are they gonna fly to? Colombia won't take them. Guyana certainly won't take them. Where are they gonna go? It's up to the government of Venezuela to decide what planes land in Venezuela. Or maybe they're gonna start a war with Venezuela so they can send refugees back. I honestly don't know. I don't know what the plan is gonna be with this. But with the environment, the worst thing that the Americans can do right now is nothing. And that's what they're going to do for the next few years. Nothing. At a time when the world is heating up beyond the imagination of scientists from 40 years ago, looking at this and going, oh shit, this could be a problem. It feels like a fever dream. Ivan Ambrose, thank you very much for the £5 super chat, mate. This must be the quickest US election results ever. It often takes days. Well, Ivan, it doesn't. It normally comes through on the night. It's just the last time in 2020, it took days because so many results were very, very close. Georgia famously coming down to just 11,780 votes. So yeah, this was fairly typical of the of American elections. And by the time I went to, we signed off, me and Mike, last night, it was obvious the way things were going. And I was just getting more and more like, yeah, I don't want to do this. This is not great. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be spending the next few years going on and on about the stupid, dickhead, irresponsible, idiotic, criminal, cruel, callous, unkind things that are going on in politics around the world. I was hoping we were heading towards a better future. I've got 2 stepdaughters. I don't want them to have to grow up in a world where people like Trump can win and win bigly. I don't want them to grow up in a world where packs of disgusting men, incels, can go and abuse women without any kind of retribution being above the law, and the consequences of that abuse can lead to a situation in which a woman gets pregnant and can't have an abortion, is forced by law to have her rapist baby, even if it kills her. And yet, millions of Americans yesterday, last few weeks who rarely voted for the rapist. They voted for a rapist, everyone. Like, that's it. I'm so glad I got me bloody visa to America that I'm not going there. Jason J, master of projection, makes constant claims of vote rigging, just saying, well, yeah, indeed, master of projection. Maybe Kamala should take a leaf out of Trump's book, and maybe Biden should. Maybe he should refuse to leave the White House. That was Trump's plan, wasn't it? Maggie Pie, thank you very much for the 20 Swedish krona. What happens to Brexit Britain in Trump 2.0 world? Good question, Maggie Pie. I think, and Phil thinks, and some other pundits think, that a Trump presidency will actually bring us closer to the EU, because we're going to have to, not sever our ties with America, but loosen them somewhat. We can't be marching in hock with America. Now, America's going to become the pariah of the world, which is what Putin wanted. Like, absolutely 100%. This is what Putin wants, and Putin has got what he wanted. He failed to get what he wanted in Moldova last week. He managed to get what he wanted in Georgia the week before, and now he's won again in America with this absolute imbecile, this man who's so unqualified to run. He's unqualified to run a bath. Never mind the largest economy on the planet. And who's he got helping him? Elon Musk, the guy who bought Twitter for $44 billion, and now it's worth a fraction of that. Frank says, I'm not going to America, Graham. No, I'm not going to America. Not while Trump is the president-elect or president. Ivan, will Calex be back on the cards again, as in California Nexit? No, I don't think America will split apart. I really don't. But yeah, Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation, they're going to get what they want. And what they want is fucking horrible. It is just absolutely horrible. And I hope the tech bros who can't get a girlfriend and blame all women for that, for their own, lack of riz. I hope that they, realise that part of Project 2025, it being a fundamentalist Christian document, it's a Christian Taliban have effectively taken over America. It also bans pornography, so that'll be interesting. And Viv says, I'm so sorry, Graham, you've done so well to keep us informed. The US have put the Handmaid's Tale bonnet on and red cloak on the Statue of Liberty. It's unbelievable. Yeah. There was someone put a picture, like a screen grab, of someone trying to mansplain the Handmaid's Tale to a woman called Margaret E. Atwood, and it was just like, you do know that's the author of the Handmaid's Tale. It's like, no, that's not what it's about. It's about Soviet Russia. It's like, no, it's not. It's set in America for a reason. Ivan, we have more than enough to sort out in this country, NHS, etc., 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 because of the Tories' 14 years of destruction. Yeah, so it will, like, looking for those, thin shafts of light coming through the ruins of our democracy. It will push us back towards the EU, I think. It will push us back towards Europe, because we're going to have to club together, because America's just not interested in protecting Europe. This will empower Putin even more. But Ukraine has, I think, 18 months worth of funding coming from America still. That's in place. That can't be taken away. And I don't think, Jesus. And they're obviously going to be supported by the EU and the UK. in the ongoing fight against a foreign invader who has come into their country because he wasn't happy with the result of an election. G. Lang, the thing is, if only the electoral vote would let him win, it would be bad enough, but it seems he wants to win the popular vote. They want him. They really... he also seems to win the popular vote. They want him. They really want him. Yeah. Yeah. And I said this as well. You know, the Americans have met who love Trump. They love him. They absolutely love. They love him more than they love their own children. I can't get that through. More clearly. And so when people were like, no, great, I feel a little bit aggrieved now because I did feel like for a while, especially on the Friday Night Social, that I'd be the only one saying Trump might win here, guys, and everyone else is shouting me down. God, shut up, great! Oh, you've always, and I'm like, I didn't want to be right. I really, really didn't want to be right, but the signs were there. You know, I blame anyone for what's just happened, apart from Vladimir Putin. I blame Joe Biden for not stepping down earlier, for not stepping aside and giving Kamala a good run at it. Also for not going after Trump when he had the opportunity with the full force of the Department of Justice. And who cares? Like, oh, he's going to say it's a political witch hunt. Fine. They should have done it straight away after the January the 6th. No one wanted to go near Trump. He was like a bad smell. And they were like, oh no, we'll impeach him. What was the point of that? You knew what it was, a foregone conclusion. You spent months and months, millions of dollars in these bloody select committees in the House of Representatives to go to the Senate and die. You know, to have all these hearings and go to the Senate and die. They knew they needed 60 votes in the Senate. And they knew that was the case. Why impeach him? Just go for the law court. He broke the fucking law. He got a crowd of people to go and attack their parliament building in America, the Capitol building. Cause $3 million worth of damage. Injure 150 police officers. And led to the deaths of 9 people. A couple of them, police officers. And that guy's not only walking free, he's now the leader of the so-called land of the free. The popular vote in California still hasn't been counted. Wait to see what happens. It doesn't make any difference now. He's won. Colin Baker, Starmer should keep the US at arm's length. I'm annoyed that he's already sent a message of congratulations. Colin, that's just diplomacy. You wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. And that's probably why we're not politicians. You've got to, you've got to play the game. And part of the game is saying to tyrants, well done for being a tyrant. Well done for being the most odious human being in the history of human beings. And, so many people finding that attractive and going, yeah, that's the route I want my country to go down, the dark route. He is going into the Oval Office with a list of enemies that he wants to take it out on. He's got no policies. He doesn't give a shit about America. Nothing's going to happen now for 4 years in America. Things are just going to fester. Things are just going to fall apart. But yeah, it's a very, very dark morning this morning. Very dark indeed. George, I feel I may never trust Americans again. Well, indeed. And, for me, thank you very much for the super chat. Like, this is one of the reasons why I left my island. I mean, my main compulsion for leaving the island was that my dad had got dementia and he needed, I came back to help my mum look after him. And but there were other reasons as well. I mean, one of the ones was because I said I was going to run for Parliament, which I did. But that was a sort of a silly thing, I guess, because I knew I wasn't going to win. It was just making a statement, making a stand against the Brexity tendencies of the Corbyn era Labour Party. Yeah, one of the reasons why I wasn't that sad to leave is in Bocas del Toro, there were a lot of Americans, and so many of them were big fans of Trump, and they thought Trump was amazing. And talking to them, it was as though they were talking about one of their own children, a particularly gifted member of their family. It was that, like, absolutely, little Jimmy's the best at playing the recorder. He really is amazing. And you're sitting there going, you look at little Jimmy and he's playing the recorder through his nose and you're like, I don't think he is. But they're like, he is! He is. You've got to understand. He's the best. Best. Ivan, thank you very much for the £10 super chat, mate. I had to block 2 people on Facebook this morning when they came out of the woodwork confirming their support for Trump. Before blocking, I made my interventions with my comments, of course. Yeah, do that. Comment and block. I've not gone on social media this morning. I just don't want to know. I don't think, because I kind of weeded out all that lot when back in 2016 with the original Trump vote and with the Brexit vote. So I probably don't have to worry about it too much. And I don't really go on Twitter. Please, for the sake of your mental health, do not go on Twitter today. Okay, just stay away from it. It's a toxic hell site run by a megalomaniac. Johan says that's unfair. He has 3 policies: lower tax on the wealthy, deregulate corporations, and dismantle social security. Oh yeah, I mean, he's just going to make things fall apart. That's what I mean. He's not going to do anything proactive to make things better for people in this life. David Faulkner there with 15 Hong Kongian dollars. Thank you. Hope this pushes us closer to the EU. Yeah, I hope that as well. That's the dream, isn't it? Get yourself on Blue Sky. I don't know. It's another thing, innit? It's another bloody thing. I'm drinking out of my swimming sloth mug. You see that? It's a bit see-through because of the green screen effect. But the swimming sloth, this is from Planet Earth 2. And it was filmed a few miles from my island in Panama. Fun fact. Let's have a look. Stephen's just dropped £2 super chat in. Thank you. I think everyone's just feeling sorry for I was going to say for me, but we're just all feeling sorry for ourselves this morning. So it's nice. It's like a group therapy session or something. And then we've got, so thanks for that, Stephen. And then Andrew Jackson, £2, goes to show the power of media manipulation. Yeah. You see, the thing is, you are watching this, right? So you tend to seek out the more verity, different voices in other than what the rich want you to think necessarily. So if you watch this channel, chances are you watch other YouTube channels which are attuned to the same vibes, and you see things that some other people who aren't that interested in politics and just get all of their information from Fox News, they don't see this. The people who, in this country, the equivalent is people who aren't really into politics, they just read the Mail. They call it the paper because it's their only source of information. That, and now Facebook, where people can just lie and cheat and send each other bullshit and nothing's ever done about it. Andrew Ray says, Graham, help. How can you leave Twitter without leaving all of my data and past posts? You can delete everything. I think if you delete your account, there's a thing that you can actually download all your past posts and you can nuke it. But I don't know. I've not deactivated my account on Twitter. I just don't use it. I have the account because I know that's costing Elon Musk a tiny bit of money, but I don't really use it. Is there PMQs today? Badenoch's first. If it is PMQs. So we're going to have to put up with Kemi Badenoch. Oh, just when you thought this day couldn't get any fucking worse. Also, I'm still kind of mortified that I thought it was Thursday when it's actually Wednesday. It's Wednesday, the 6th of November, 2024. Silver linings, maybe Bojo, Truss and Rishi might fuck off in the hope of jobs in the US. Well, yeah. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Like, I was very much looking forward to, apart from anything else, right? Not having to see Trump's ugly, gormless fuck of a face ever again. Like, I just don't want to see his face. I've said this before. Someone said, here's a button, right? And if you press it, you never have to see Trump again, ever. You never have to see that ugly blob of a human being that, absolute gobshite with his fake hair and his fake tan and his fake everything, his little hands and his general demeanor. But you have to live on the streets for the rest of your life. I'll press the button. I'll go move somewhere warm. I wouldn't stay here. I'll hitchhike my way to the south of France. Ivan, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. regardless of the chance it could move the UK closer to the EU again. Kamala in the White House is still very much my preferred scenario. Yeah. Simon Wyndham. Oh, hello. My monitor just went off. My monitor just went off. Fuck this. Oh, it's back on. Trump didn't win. The Democrats lost. They snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Useless. Yeah. Mr. TSK 27 says Janie Godley, R.I.P. Yeah, at least she didn't have to live to see this. So there you go. Plum Duff. I was thinking of quitting, but might be the depression talking. What a shit day. Love to all love. Yeah, Plum. I'm not going to quit. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to do this. I would love to just do shows about travel and adventure and excitement and tell you all the amazing stories of, like, travel in the, not just travel, but, I've been to every country in the world. I've got, like, 1,000 stories to tell. And this isn't the road that I want to go down. I don't want to be every day coming on here going, oh God, what have they done now? Oh! But I need this. I need this as a kind of like self-help group because I need you watching this to try and put it all together and just remind me that there are sane people in the world who are good and care about each other and their society and their country and the environment, and they care about their children. I need you. And so, yeah, I will continue to do this. Things are going to change a little bit next week. So I'll just let you know the program now, and I'll probably tell you this again when in shows over the next couple of days. But I'm going to be doing PMQs today. There's going to be no intersection today. But Phil will be back for his final morning brew tomorrow at 9:30. So please come along to that. That would be great. And then we've got the morning brew on Friday, which is going to come live from Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam. Yes, Graham, that's not the way to Panama. Yeah, I know. There's no direct flights to Panama from the UK. You have to go to Europe or America to get there and change flights. So I'll be changing over in Schiphol Airport. I've got a 3-hour layover, so I'll be setting up in a corner somewhere with my phone, and we'll be doing the final morning brew for a little while. There will be no Friday night social this week, and then I'm going to be traveling on the Friday and the Saturday. Getting the overnight coach to Bocas del Toro. The overnight coach is always freezing cold. So we have taken a sleeping bag if you're ever on one of these coaches in the tropics. They love their air conditioning. And then on the Monday at 1 o'clock, so next Monday, 1 o'clock, I'll be doing Island Brew, which is going to be me. It's going to be morning for me. It's going to be afternoon for you. I was going to call it afternoon brew, but then it's morning for me. So I'm going to call it Island Brew. And it's going to be at 1 o'clock. So you can listen to James O'Brien. And then once that's finished, come turn over, change the channel, so to speak, change the website and come over here to YouTube. And I'll be doing a daily half-hour show talking about politics and obviously what's happening on the island and what we're doing to defend it against climate change. Because in a way, that island is a bit of a canary in the coal mine because it's going underwater because of climate change. And it's a mangrove island. And those mangrove islands are critically endangered in the world because every dickhead who moved to Florida over the last 400 years decided to dig them up when they're some of the best, not just carbon sinks, but also they hold the soil together. They create land. Have liberal friends in Alabama who are too old to leave. I thought there was a question. I have liberal friends in Alabama who are too old to leave and now very scared. Yeah, Beverly says, been up all night, I'm in shock. But Bev, I kind of do the opposite of that. When I get like bad news, when like it's just like, oh, bloody hell, I can't believe this. I just tend to shut down. Like I fall asleep. It's really weird. And I get bad news. I get this overwhelming urge just to go to bloody sleep. That's how it kicks in with me. So when I'm doing a all-nighter and Labour are winning and kicking the Tories' arse all over the show, I can just keep going. Like, there's nothing going to stop me. But then, it doesn't go your way. And Jesus Christ, they want him back. They want him back. For fuck's sake, America. What the... Oh no, not again. I'm glad some people got the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference there. My fellow nerds, I salute you. The UK and France did the decent thing this year, but clearly it was too much to expect the US to do the same. That's from Ivan Ambrose. Yeah. Lucy says, I assume your island has trans rights. It absolutely does. Can I move there? Yeah, if you want. It's hard yakka though, because it is the jungle. Like, I can't stress that enough. It's technically a rainforest. They have like 3 meters of rain a year, and there's biting insects. And one of my friends who stayed there for a few weeks, she said, it's heaven or hell and nothing in between. You have a day, the sun is shining, it is beautiful. You're swimming in the water, in the crystal clear water. There's bioluminescence around the island. So you jump in the water at night and you splash about and you glow. You light up in the water. There's fireflies on the island. There's little crabs that have one really big claw. I call them wanker crabs. I don't think that's their real name. Little mud crabs. And what they do is at night, they kind of, I don't know, they have like a shiny bit on them or something. So if you've got a torch, they reflect your torch back. So there's all these like shining, there's all these like little sparkly things in the grass. It's really cool. But then you have a day when it's pissing down with rain and you're getting bitten to shit and the engine doesn't work on the boat and you're trapped on an island and it's a bit of a nightmare. So it's heaven or hell with nothing in between. But my dream for the island is, I'm probably going to sell it. Like, realistically, I'm fed up of being in debt. I'm fed up of, scrimping to get through each month, earning like not enough really to live on. And I want to get back to writing. So if I sell the island, I can pay off my debts, brought back from the war, and then I can crack on with. I'll do a show every day for you guys because I enjoy doing this. Like I say, I need it. But also I can spend time writing. I can write down my bloody stories. I can work on my film scripts, work on my TV scripts, work on my plays and things like that have sadly been neglected since 2016. And it's painful. Like I was so productive. I feel like in my life, I was making music videos, actors show reels, filming live events in Liverpool. And then I got this gig with Lonely Planet, the challenge to travel to every country in the world without flying. And I did that. Then I won the island. I was living off grid. And while I was there, I was writing. Like I wrote 3 scripts, feature length scripts while on the island. One was a fan script for a bit of fanfic, which was an Indiana Jones script. The idea of which came to me while I was in jail in Congo. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then there was another one which is based on a true story about Isabella Godin, who was an aristocrat living in what's now Ecuador in the 18th century. And then there was another one called Tallyman, which is my favourite by far. And it's essentially a story about these 4 lads who have to go into like the underworld to retrieve the lost soul of one of the lads' brothers. Yeah, it is like, it's painful because you write something like that, and I wrote the original script for this, like the first draft of it, like 20 years ago. And there's so many beats because it's set in the 1980s, set in Liverpool in the 80s, and there's so many beats in it that are very, very similar to Stranger Things. And I'm like watching Stranger Things going, this was like that. But yeah, you can't do much about that. Anyway, Complex, thank you very much for the £10 super chat, mate. That's very kind of you. We have to do better than this. We need to put our foot down as human beings, as a human family, and say that we've had enough of all these wars, cruelty, and climate destruction. It can't go on. Yeah, absolutely, Complex. Just to finish off what I was saying, I'd probably end up selling the island next year. But what I prefer to do is to make a retreat, make an eco retreat, an LGBT friendly eco retreat that we can go over to and use as a creative place where we can go and we can write, or we can just, do a wellness camp for a couple of weeks, just have a digital detox. And I'm really looking forward to that. And one of the things that I hope to do after this election, I thought Kamala was going to win. I thought that then my prediction wasn't that Trump would win outright. I kept saying I don't think he'll win the popular vote. He might, but I didn't think he would. I thought Kamala will, win the popular vote, but he won't back down. He'll say that it's a scam. I was quite worried about what might happen next. Obviously, that's not going to happen now because the Democrats are generally sensible and they don't go around destroying parliamentary buildings. So I was hoping to have a digital detox. I'll go on each day on Island Brew at 1 o'clock and just say to you, like, hey, what's happening? Talk to me. I'm on this island. What's happening in the world? And I was hoping that it would be, maybe some good news stories, maybe. But now with Trump, I'm going to have to keep abreast of what's happening, which is crap because I really, really could have done with a digital detox. But yeah, so if you know anyone who has money, and let's face it, we don't really do, because otherwise we'll be supporting the other side, because all the rich people, they all seem to support Trump. Isn't that funny? They all seem to support the monster. They support the rapist. Yeah, I think being rich does terrible, terrible things to your mind. You only need to look at J.K. Rowling for evidence of this, but also the fact this is something that was said on QI a long time ago. What's the fastest way to make a lifelong Labour voter into a Tory voter? Have them win the lottery. Yeah. It's mine, that. I worked hard for that. I worked hard for, the lottery money that I won by chance. My supreme good luck. Alex French says America is screwed. Alex, you are not wrong. Alfie says, why are you lot talking about the world ending? The world is a better and safer place with Trump and his team. Yeah, right, Alfie. It's time for you to go. Bye. Oni Baba, there is going to be a rude awakening for a lot of Americans. They're not going to like it. The only people who will benefit will be the rich. Yeah, but here's the thing. I was thinking about this, Oni Baba. And I think you're right in that the only people who are going to benefit are going to be the rich. But that's always been the case in these Republican counties and Republican states where people have like 3 teeth between a whole family and they live in a swamp and they consistently vote for Republicans, even though the Republicans have never done anything for them, ever, in the history of the world. Or by council houses, says Fax. Yeah, that makes people vote Tory as well. Michael Warner, isn't it funny? We're taught to fear the witch and those who are not those who burnt them alive. Yeah, exactly, Michael. Very good point. And who on earth is that Alfie? Just a troll. I've sacked him off. He's gone. But he's maybe still watching. If you're still watching, Alfie, fuck you. Anyway, Christopher Bowles. How do you pronounce this? Ephesians? I'm saying that completely wrong, aren't I? 5:22. Wives, submit yourself to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. The only way I can make sense of this result. This is my issue with the Bible. Ooh, I've got many issues with the Bible. We can talk about that some other time. Lister wanted to retire to Fiji. Yeah, goldfish shoals, nibbling at my toes. Yeah, that's what I would like to do. I mean, I'd split my time. I'd come back to the UK. Obviously, I've got family here and ties here, so it wouldn't be somewhere I'll spend all my time. But just, I would rather have it as an eco retreat that we can all go and use, rather than sell it to some panicking American who's like, I need to get out of America for 4 years, which is probably what's going to happen. Let's face it. Nice one, Graham, says Frank Riley. No problems. Ephesians, is that how you pronounce it? Oh, hang on. My green screen's falling down. Well, there you go. I think that's my cue to say goodnight. I'm going to have to redo my room and change it all back around to my desk over there. But yeah, in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. And I'm sorry that the result did not go the way we were hoping it would by any stretch of the imagination. It's as shit as shit could be. But it might help us get back closer to our friends in the EU. And, we've still got each other. And I'm not going to stop doing this. So, we've got that. Thanks so much for the super chats. That's bored me up a little bit this morning on this incredibly depressing day. And I'll be back at 12 o'clock for Prime Minister's questions. Let's swear at some Tories. Let's get demonetized. Let's get demonetized, baby. Oh yeah. And Donkey has given £1 super chat. Thank you very much. And a little $sign. I see. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry. That's the wrong thing. I wanted to do the one for super chat. Yeah, that's better. Alistair says, night, Graham. Get some more sleep, my friend. Yeah, I was thinking of doing that. I think I'm a bit too awake now. We will see. We will see. Gaza dies. Ukraine is lost. Poland is worried. It's not all over, Haru Hai. We can work together in Europe. We have the resources. We have the money. We have the wealth. Maybe it might be a good thing in the long run that America rips off the band-aid and goes for full bloody, dickhead. That'll sound like an accelerationist here, but maybe they need to just get it out their system. Meanwhile, in Europe, we need to reteam. We need to regroup. We need to regroup because we can't rely on America. We couldn't rely on them in the first couple of years of World War One. We couldn't rely on them in the first couple of years of World War Two. So, it's that, isn't it? Anyway, Siskin Edge says, damn, I need a bear to cuddle up with. Yeah. Where's my teddy bear? Also Taiwan. Don't forget about Taiwan. Yeah, things could be kicking off. Gallifreyan round for the Island Brew. Will the stream intro and graphics get a sunny tropical makeover, Graham? No, it'll be going out from a phone. So unfortunately, no fancy graphics. Weird thing in Panama, and I'll explain this when I'm on the island. When I last went, and the last few times I've been, you've not been able to make a hotspot with your phone. So I've not been able to, broadcast from using a hotspot on my phone off my laptop, through my laptop. So I've not been able to do the fancy graphics and stuff. I'm going to take my camera. I'm going to take a tripod. There's enough light. Anyway, Patrick says thanks for being there for us, Graham. Patrick, thank you for being there for me. And the rest of you watching this, thank you. Please, let's stick together because we need to. Yeah, there's no choice in this anymore. We've got this absolute bloody lunatic who's now in charge of, going to be in charge in a couple of months of the free world. Maybe he'll fall down the stairs. You never know. Anyway, until 12 o'clock today, I will say thank you so much for watching. And until next time, hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.